So we had a phenomenal halftime show at this past Sunday Super Bowl, all hip hop artists. And as a lot of you know, many of the artists who perform at halftime segment do not get paid. So same scenario here. None of these artists are getting paid, man. And these are, larger than life artists. And when I think about that, man, it almost puts me back into the independent artist mindset and ways of thinking. Because a lot of times, you'll have these indie artists, they'll approach people with these big platforms and expect a payout. But, usually what's communicated is, man, we're giving you exposure. We're helping you gain more, eyeballs to your movement. That is your currency. Nothing that's, monetary. And so, but when you apply to artists like these huge artists, man, I'm like, I wonder if that would be a fair exchange. A platform like the Super Bowl, and you getting that much exposure versus, you actually getting a payout. So talk to me about this. What are your thoughts?
All right, here's what I think, because I can look at both sides of the equation now. A lot of times artists who will say things like that have not owned the label where they're paying other artists. Whenever you start paying for the marketing cost and the video cost and the food budgets and all that other stuff, you tell me one person that you like that much that you would just pay for all that stuff and expect nothing back. No, it just doesn't happen.
Right.
So if you want to make that argument, you also must make the argument that if I'm on that negotiating table, I'm like, okay, well, what equity do I have in this deal afterwards?
That's right.
Because the amount of money the NFL has put into marketing themselves
crazy
is far more than any of these artists have put into marketing their career. They're a singular person.
Right.
Not to say they don't have very, very large careers and they don't have other businesses. But if you talking about, just pay me this and also like this massive amount of exposure. I don't know, man. I don't know about it. That's like, Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, Google telling you that they will pay for your marketing costs for this video that goes out, and you say, well, you should pay me to perform the video as well as the marketing costs. They're gonna go find somebody else. Yeah, because they also pay for the production costs. So we didn't cover that. They pay for the production costs of everything that goes in there.
Do you know who has creative control? Is it the artist or the NFL or whoever?
Probably both, I would imagine. You can't go out there and, it was hip hop yesterday, so they can't go out there and drop 80 F-bombs on there. And like, that's just creative abuse. It's not control, which some of you need to hear that last statement I said. So I'll repeat it again. You're talking about creative abuse. Like I can say, and people do that all around. You have freedom of speech. Everybody has freedom of speech. That does not mean the other person does not have freedom of speech. If everybody has it, you need to be okay with everybody having it.
Yeah.
So
let me pose this though.
Go ahead.
Would you consider the huge artists that are performing on these platforms to bring in a certain percentage of viewership for these events? At least significant enough to justify some type of payout.
I don't know, man. That'd be very hard to calculate.
It would be.
I say, this is me, and you guys probably already know where I'm going. Whenever they have tokens of all themselves, the NFL can just buy into their token. Hey, if you want to be paid, knock yourself out. We will pay you because we already own this equity, and your equity is going to go up afterwards. Web3 solves this problem.
That's a good note, man.
Web3 already solves this problem. The problem's already solved. People just aren't doing it.
That's good.
Yeah. people, you can't change people asking the question, what's in it for me? Everybody gonna ask that question.
Right.
Including the corporation. The corporation is just looked at as evil when they ask it, and the artist is not looked at as evil when they ask it. It's kind of like when people talk about, taxing people out the wazoo, like people act like they're benevolent when they talk about taxing other people, and then all of a sudden when it says it's their money, they want to keep it. So it's not them being greedy. It's once you get to this amount, you're greedy, but it's not greedy for me to want to take your money. Like, look, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, facts.
Like, if we get to this place faster, which is why I try to tell y'all, of this equity distribution among all the fans, this problem is solved. It really is.
That's good.
Because you're talking about them getting paid. The fan can now get paid too with all this. Everybody's music is going to pop today.
Right.
We can go look at the charts. Everybody's music is going to pop. That's why they're not worried about a payday.
Right.
Like, they will get a payday. This is not like some rinky-dinky. This is one of the biggest televised events ever.
100%.
So they know that the reason why they're very happy to sign on to these deals is because, look, they got to pay that. You're going to get sponsors and all this other stuff. It's not like some random dude at a bar saying, hey, you're going to get exposure if you go on my bar stage. No, this is way different than that.
Yep.
So them, like when you take the equity of that idea and then you extrapolate it out to the multiplier that can be put on top of this, like fans putting their money on top of this popularity event is exactly what can happen now in this market.
Yeah.
So give that 1, 2 years, maybe 3 years for that to come to pass. Where like the NFL is starting to buy equity in these different artists and whatnot. So that's my thoughts on it. If it were a lesser stage, I'd be with the argument that they should be paid. For this one, with that amount, because I'm thinking about what would I do? I would have a way to get my own equity on the back end of that.
Yeah.
And I'd be good.
Yeah, for sure.
Just give me, that's like getting a free ad slot.
Yeah.
For the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Actually, that's way more than the free ad slot because they get 30 minutes.
100%.
So heck, give me 30 seconds for one of the free ad slots. Talking about pay me. No, I'll cover the cost of this commercial. Y'all just give me this 30 seconds. I'll say what I need to say. I'm out. So yes, given that, I'm with them.
Yeah.
I'm with the artists and the mindset of the NFL. Just give me that 30 seconds.
Yeah, 100%. Makes sense.